Hey everybody, Corn-Fed Lady here, and today we're doing garden updates. First, let's take a look at this sprawl of pumpkin patch that we've got going on. Now, this year we planted some small sugar pumpkins, so they're only going to be about, hand size. You can see we've got a couple of them going here. That one's a decent size. This one's just a baby one. And this one is our biggest one. You can see it's already starting to turn color a little bit. Down on the other end here we've got some watermelons. And there's a few more right in front of the pumpkin patch. So let's go check those out. There's actually a couple of pumpkins up here that are getting pretty close to ripe. So I want to look in this patch right here and see if those few are ready. There's 3 or 4 in here I've got my eye on. These 3 are the biggest, and there's another smaller one behind. Now when you're checking watermelons to see if they're ripe, you want to find the tendril that's across from the stem of the watermelon. And when that tendril dries up and turns brown, the watermelon's ready to pick. So here's another look. You follow the stem up to where it meets on the vine, and right at that spot you'll find a tendril. Now this one's still pretty green, so this watermelon is not quite ready yet. The watermelon right next to it, though, if you follow the stem from that watermelon up to the vine, you can see the tendril is pretty brown and shriveled up at this point. So this one is actually just about ready to pick, but the first one I looked at here has an even better, more brown, shriveled up tendril. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pick this one today, and we'll take it in the house and cut it open and see how it looks. Another sign for ripeness is yellowing on the bottom of the watermelon, and you can see this one's got a little yellow spot going on there. So we'll go ahead and take this one off the vine, and we'll cut it open in the house and see what it looks like inside. And this variety, I don't remember the name, but it is supposed to be a smaller variety. That's why it's only about the size of my hand. But we only have 2 people living here, so we like to have the smaller variety of things so we're not wasting. Set that there for now. We'll come back and get that in a minute. Now right here next to that watermelon, we've got some tomatoes that have been producing. And right in front of that are some peppers. And you can see these peppers are just now starting to turn color. I was starting to wonder if they were ever going to change color. They just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. These are the Costa Rican sweet peppers, and they are supposed to get quite large and red. So I'm hoping they'll start turning red pretty soon. But you can see we've got quite a few of them in there. And here's some more tomatoes. This one is the chocolate cherry tomato bush. And it's been putting off quite a few cherry tomatoes. I've actually got about 40 cherry tomatoes in the freeze dryer right now. Here's another little bundle. It's just covered in tomatoes. This plant's been producing really well for us. And this is one of the plants that we got from our friend at the farmer's market. So we're pretty happy with this one. Let's see. Yep, there's a ripe one. Okay. Put that over there by the watermelon so I don't forget to take it in the house. We'll take a walk back here and look for some slicing tomatoes. I did find one in here the other day, but it was a little bit rotten because it was sitting on the ground. We have talked about trellising these tomato plants next year, maybe on some cattle panels or something like that. But you can see that tomato strip right there, and the wind has really been beating it to death. So some of our tomato plants are kind of falling over, leaning one way or another. We're definitely going to prop them up next year so we don't have this catastrophe happen again. Got some pepper sprouts in here, and they're just starting to put on some blossoms. No fruits yet, but those are the ones that my husband and my son seeded, so they're a little bit further behind than the ones that we bought. And right in here we've got our squash and our cantaloupe patch. See if I can find any baby cantaloupes. I've been seeing a couple of just little tiny itty bitty cantaloupe nodes. I wouldn't even call them cantaloupes yet. Here's one. But you can see how tiny they are. They are starting to finally come in a little bit. So hopefully we'll get some cantaloupes out of that. Let's see if we can find some squash plants in there. If I can make my way through all of these fallen tomato plants. Just scooch this over. There used to be a footpath in here, but it's kind of getting overgrown now. You can see where some of those tomato plants were blown over on top of the pepper plants and the squash plants. So they're just kind of all intermingling now. Here's our squash. I believe this is the butternut squash. It's another plant that we got from our friend. And there's quite a few squashes in there. So I'm going to have to learn how to preserve and cook squash, because this is not something that I've ever experienced using for food. But we've got quite a few in here. Some of them are pretty large. You can see this one's about 2 hand widths across. It's getting pretty serious in here, so I'm starting to do some research on what to do with all these squash. Don't worry, they won't go to waste. I'm just new to this type of food. But yeah, these are quite large squash so far. And there's a ton of them all through there too. Down on the end is the potato patch I've been working on. And you can check out that video of our first potato harvest. And there's a couple more pepper plants in the back there that we seeded. And the watermelon patch in the back. Why don't we go ahead and take a look in that watermelon patch and see if we can find any that are ripe in here. Well, that's a pretty green tendril for that one. I'd say it's got a while to go. Yeah, we'll leave that one there for now. That's a pretty green tendril. There's another one. It's got a little bit of a scar mark from the vine. That's okay. Follow that stem up to the vine. And it also has a pretty green looking tendril. So we're going to wait on that one too. It's just not quite ready. Let's check this one behind it. Find the stem. Follow it up to the vine. Find the tendril at that spot. So this one's hidden a little bit. That one still looks pretty green too. So it looks like these watermelons in here need a little bit longer. Work our way through here. There are a couple more I still want to check. I wanted to show you the kale is still in there. I've been giving it to the bunnies. The potato patch is almost halfway harvested. And that's about halfway right there. And you can see I've harvested the left side. And the right side still needs harvested. And of course we still have the second potato bed out back behind the corn patch there. Let's go check on those watermelons over by the pigs, because I think there might be 1 or 2 in here that are ready. Let's follow that stem up to the vine. Find the tendril. It's kind of tangled up in there. Okay, so this one's got a pretty brown looking tendril. But if you look even closer, the part that's attached to the stem there, or to the vine, is still pretty green. at the base of that tendril, so that one still needs a little bit longer. It's close. I'll probably pick that one by the end of the week. Let's check this other one here next to it. Follow the stem up to the vine. That tendril is pretty green. It's just barely starting to turn brown. So that one will have a little bit longer to go. Maybe another week. I thought... Okay, here it is. There is another one in here that I think is pretty ready. I cannot find the tendril on this particular watermelon, but it's really yellow on bottom. And it sounds like the right kind of thumping noise when you tap on it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that one. We'll take it in the house and cut it open too. And we'll see what that looks like inside. We do have one other variety of watermelon in here, and it's the striped watermelon. I think these are supposed to get quite a bit larger and look more like the traditional store-bought ones. You can see the tendrils on this one are brand new because this is just a baby watermelon. But hopefully we'll get some of those too and be able to try out that variety. And there's a few of those kind of speckled around through here. I thought there was another one over here. Yep, there it is. There's another small striped one. Get that leaf out of there. It's another small striped one. You can see they're not very big yet, but they are coming in. And they're just kind of scattered around in there, along with the pumpkins that are trying to take over. Let's get these up in the house and see what they look like inside. I'm excited to cut this open. Are you guys excited to see what's inside this watermelon? I have no idea. These are the first two that we've picked this year, and I've actually never tried this variety. This is something new for us. So we'll have to take those in, check them out, see what they look like inside. I'm taking our cherry tomato too.
I don't have no scraps for you this time, pigs. Sorry, pigs. No scraps for you this time. It's all good stuff for us. Look at all your sweet corn scraps. You guys are spoiled. Where's your brother? There he is. The bakey bits. That's good, pigs. That's good, pigs. If one of these watermelons isn't quite human kosher, I'll give it to you guys, okay? Okay. Let's get pigs. I'm gonna go in the house and cut them open first. I'll bring you the rinds if nothing else, okay? I promise, I'll bring you the rinds.
Alright, moment of truth. Let's cut this baby open and see what's inside. Oh my goodness. You guys, look at that. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's beautiful and red all the way through. Oh my gosh, it smells divine too. Let's slice off a little piece and try it. Oh, it looks so good. Wow.